That is a big tire. But the big news this year is new tires for the Z06, and then we're also making them available on certain Grand Sport models. And then we're upgrading the exhaust on the Z06. But let me talk about the tire first. Next slide. When Michelin got the ZR1 business, it was right about the same time that Goodyear also lost the business on the race car and the C6R. Those two things happened pretty close in time, and that was a big wake-up call for Goodyear. They've been on the Corvette, they've been our partners for a long time, but we always told them, you know, you're in this, it's a competition, and the best tire is going to win, just like GM's saying now, make best car win. We have to use the best components on the car to get the best car. And so we've always had these shootout competitions between the top tire manufacturers. Usually it comes down to Goodyear and Michelin, but Michelin won the business on the ZR1, and that was a huge wake-up call at Goodyear. They realized Michelin had a beachhead in the Corvette business, and they're seriously concerned that over time they could lose all the Corvette business. So they had a huge international corporate effort to come up with a replacement tire for today's Z06 tire. It was developed originally, the supercar tire was developed originally for the Z06 back in 2006. We were asking them all along to be thinking about how to make that tire work better, higher performance. We're always in shootouts with people who have cup tires, which is basically a street legal racing tire. And so we needed to up our game when it came to tires. And I have to tell you, they really surprised us. They really came to town with a fantastic new tire. It's asymmetrical and unidirectional, so it's a unique part number for each of the four corners of the car. Extremely aggressive tread blocks on the outboard shoulders. Good water management on the inside. But they basically redid the entire tire construction. So it's not only a big improvement in handling, dry handling, but it's also better in the wet. It's also rides better and is quieter. So overall, it's going to be a big improvement from today's. They've done all the mold designs are different. The construction of the sidewall, the way they do the run flat construction. They've got a different, if you look at the cars out there, you'll see they have better rim protection than ever before to keep your wheels protected. And then on the next slide, you'll see maybe the most important thing is a totally new tread compound. They went through a lot of different chemistries. They've got a bunch of exotic polymers, real racing carbon black, and a blend of resins that allow the tire to very quickly come up to working temperatures, yet it doesn't roll off. You can keep working it hard and it stays strong. I can remember the first day we got into a car with these tires out on Black Lake at the Milford Proving Grounds. And we had a whole bunch of people of different skill levels, and we started out in today's Z06, got kind of used to that, we're kind of used to that performance. Then we got into the car with the new tires, and it was really eye-opening, not just for the limits that the car could achieve, but how linear it was close to those limits. You can, the car responds exactly proportionally to what you're doing with the wheel, even when you're very close to the limits of the tire, and then they break away very progressively, so it's an extremely forgiving tire. It transforms the car. I've got some actual graphs, friction circles we call them, so this is the tire capability both laterally and then also braking and also traction, so all four directions at the tire patch. The raw data is on the left. The blue is the old tire and the red is the new tire. And then if you sweeten those curves, you see the graph on the right where it doesn't matter which direction the tire is being loaded, the new tire outperforms the old tire. Next slide. I mentioned the exhaust system. We first introduced a valved exhaust on the Z06 to much acclaim. It was a great enabler for horsepower, great enabler to have a kind of a two-state car, a reasonably quiet touring car, and then an absolutely kick-ass track kind of vehicle when you're on it hard. We continuously developed that as we put it on the ZR1, and then we made it available on NPP. We learned a lot of lessons as we did all that. We decided to go back and redo the Z06 to make it even sweeter sounding and a little more aggressive. Actually, the other cars had kind of gotten more aggressive than the Z06 as we learned how to maximize the capability of the system and still meet international pass-by laws. So with those learnings, we were able to go back, retune the Z06. So it's different tuning inside the mufflers. We're using an X pipe instead of an H pipe in the middle, right out of the ZR1. And then the calibration is much different. So you actually get, like I said, more aggressive sound. Then you get a really neat overrun burble. The valves stay open even when you take your foot off of it, so you get that snapping and popping, crackling like a real ultimate performance car. There's other things also on the ZR1 in addition to those are kind of new on the base car, but we have two new options. CFZ, which is a carbon fiber package. This is basically taking some of the componentry, some of the processing from the ZR1 where we do the clear-coated carbon. Instead of doing a clear-coated, we do a like a piano black, a very bright, high-gloss black. You'll see it on the cars out here instead of the clear coat. Lets us save a little money, still looks really cool, still saves all the mass, you still get all the structural benefits of carbon fiber. But we're going to make that an option that you can get that on a Z06. So you can get this front splitter, the side rockers, the roof, it'll be painted body color, and then you get the ZR1 style rear spoiler, which you have to do because if you get the front splitter, you have to balance the car aerodynamically, so you also have to put the ZR1 rear spoiler on it. Then we have the Z07 performance package. This is a direct response to requests from you guys. I've had any number of requests saying, God, I love the ZR1, but what I'd really like is to have the lightweight, 50-50 weight distribution, normally aspirated car, but I want those brakes, those wheels, that size wheel and tire combination, and the monster brakes off the ZR1. Well, that's exactly what the Z07 package is. It's got the Brembo carbon ceramics. It's got the 20-spoke competition gray wheels. It's got the Michelin tires. You know, obviously fantastic world-class tires on the ZR1. And then you're effectively getting the whole ZR1 chassis. You also get the magnetic selective ride control. So those two options are new and available on the Z06. Here's the pictures showing what it looks like, but you're better off actually going outside because we have some of the very first cars built just this last couple of weeks in Bowling Green. Just came off the line, as always, here at the Birthday Bash. So you can take a look at those out back. This is details on the performance package. The great thing about having the magnetic selective ride control, of course, is you don't have to have a bone-jarring ride to get the ultimate performance and handling. It's been a paradigm braking system. We developed it first at General Motors. Now it's been spun off. It's part of Delphi when Delphi was spun off, and now it's on the Audi R8. It's on the Ferrari 599. So the best marques in the world have come to America essentially to pick up this technology because they realize they can't beat it.